Today let us start with histology of male reproductive system. So here you can see first the passage of this is a scheme of testes. So in a testis histologically we can see like this, but this is a just gross. Once let us check at the gross. So first we are having the seminiferous tubules. The outer layer is the tunica albuginea, and next we have the seminiferous tubules and the septum in between them. Next the seminiferous tubules continue to form the straight tubules, and the straight tubules connect to form the rete testis, and the rete testis to form the mediastinum testis, and next they flow into epididymis, and from epididymis into vas deferens. From vas deferens they reach into the prostatic urethra, and from the prostatic urethra the sperms are released into the prostate, and even from our scrotum, even from the seminal vesicles, the sperms are released into prostatic urethra. So now let us start the histology. First let us see the testis histological diagram. So here you can check out the first outer layer is the tunica albuginea, and the second one is the seminiferous tubules. So the seminiferous tubules you can check out here. So these are the seminiferous tubules. If we check in a histological diagram, they look like this. And next we are having the blood vessels in the septum in between them, and we are having the interstitial cells. These interstitial cells are nothing but the Leydig cells which release endocrine hormones. So next here we have our testis drawing in a hyperwide. So first one you can see these are the sustentacular cells or the supporting cells, and the second one you can see the spermatogonia. So the spermatogonia undergo rapid division and they mature into a spermatid. So first the spermatogonia lie on the outer membrane, and next they slowly reach towards the lumen of the seminiferous tubules, and next they are released into the respective, that is into rete testis, media testis, etc. So second you can see there is spermatogonia, and third is the dividing spermatogonia, so it is moving towards inside, and fourth is the spermatocyte, and fifth is a spermatid, and sixth is the spermatozoa. So finally spermatozoa is reaching towards the lumen, and seven are the interstitial cells. So you can see these are the interstitial cells. So this is what here we see. So let us check out in details of that. So you can check out we are having mainly in a male reproductive system we are having right and left testis, that is which can produce spermatozoa, and the outer layer is dense fibrous membrane, that is the tunica albuginea as we seen in the diagram, that is mainly having more amount of elastic fibers, and it is tunica albuginea has a posterior projection towards the mediastinum testis, which divides the testis into 200 lobules, which are conical lobules, and next they contain the 400 to 600 seminiferous tubules, which are 7 to 8 centimeters in length, and they mainly concerned to produce the spermatozoa. So you can see the space between the seminiferous tubules is filled by connective tissue, which is mainly having blood vessels, lymphatics, and it contains connective tissue in the interstitial cells of the Leydig, which secrete mainly male sex hormones, and cytoplasm having a yellow pigment, that is lipofuscin pigment. So seminiferous tubules join together to form the 20 to 30 tubuli recti and enter the mediastinum testis, and next enter into the network rete testis, upper end up to 12 to 20 efferent ductules, epididymis. So epididymis finally they reach there. Epididymis is having head, body and tail. So head of epididymis is having efferent ductules which are convoluted and form the duct of epididymis and join with the duct of epididymis. So epididymis is also having body and tail, but the duct of epididymis itself forms the body and tail, and the tail continues as ductus deferens. So ductus deferens or vas deferens is nothing but same. So from the vas deferens the sperm enters into the prostatic urethra. Even from the seminal vesicles the sperm may enter into the prostatic urethra. So next here you can see the testis lies in a mainly double layered serous sac which is known as tunica vaginalis, and it is having a visceral layer which is continuous with the tunica albuginea. If you remember, this is the tunica albuginea. So the visceral layer of the tunica vaginalis is continuous with the tunica albuginea and except at the mediastinum testis. So next let us see the seminiferous tubules. So seminiferous tubules, this is all the formation of spermatogenesis is all you can see in our embryology section. So the seminiferous tubules having a wall, that is muscle-like cells mainly made up of myoid cells which contract and move the spermatozoa along the tubule, and the germ cells lie at the basement membrane, and the supporting cells, that is the cells of Sertoli, which act as a macrophages. So they mainly act as macrophages and increase in the prominent than the germinal cells, especially before puberty and also in the older age, but these are not prominent in the case of young male. So next let us see what is the spermatogenesis process in a simpler way. We'll see it more detail in a embryology. So first, spermatogonia is present near the basement membrane of the seminiferous tubule inside. So next it forms a primary spermatocyte. Next it converts into secondary spermatocyte. Next it converts into spermatid. The spermatid is near to the lumen of a seminiferous tubule. Now next let us see rated testes. If you remember, the posterior projection of our the seminiferous tubules together form the rated testes. So they have the anastomosing tubules lined mainly by flattened cuboidal cells along with the microvilli. So that is important. And the efferent ductules are ciliated columnar epithelium, and there are numerous amount of smooth muscles in the wall, and the movement of spermatozoa is mainly done by the ciliary action and the peristaltic contraction of a smooth muscle. So now let us check out the epididymis. Before that, let us check out the structure of epididymis. So we can see the epididymis. First one is the lining of a tall columnar cells. So the outer lining is by tall columnar cells, and then second we have the basal cells. So these are the basal cells which are present here, and 3 is the stereocilia. If you remember, stereocilia is nothing but it is microvilli but not a cilia, but its name is like stereocilia. These are nothing but long microvilli. So these are non-motile structures, and we are also having a clump. So fourth one, you can see the clump here in the middle of the spermatozoa. The clump is mainly made up of spermatozoa. So let us check out the details of epididymis. So it is having mainly head, body and tail. So head is actually having more number of convolutions, and it is continuation of efferent ductules that is mainly lined by the ciliated columnar epithelium. And next, the body and tail are made by the duct of epididymis, that is coiled, more number of coils are present, and the duct of epididymis is mainly lined by the pseudo-stratified columnar epithelium that are having both tall columnar cells and short basal cells. If you remember, I showed here basal cells. So columnar cells are tall and the basal cells are short. So these are nothing but pseudo-stratified columnar epithelium, and they are not reaching the lumen, and tall columnar cells are present. Non-motile stereocilia is present on the luminal side, and also they are having agranular endoplasmic reticulum, lysosomes, Golgi, all are present. So basal cells are the precursor of the tall cells, that is important, and the tubules are mainly surrounded by smooth muscles, and there are more number of capillary networks. So functions of the epididymis is mainly phagocytosis of some defective spermatozoa, absorption of excessive fluid, and secretion of substances mainly like sialic acid, glycerol, phosphatidylene, choline. So phosphatidylene is having a main role in the maturation of the spermatozoa. So these are some important details of epididymis. Now let us check out the ductus deferens. So here check the structure of ductus deferens. So ductus deferens, first lining is a pseudo-stratified columnar epithelium, and second you can check out the lamina propria, and 3, 4, 5 are the layers of the muscle. So it is like a pattern of inner longitudinal, outer longitudinal and middle circular. So here you can check out inner longitudinal, middle circular and the outer longitudinal. So this is nothing but the ductus deferens. So after the epididymis, our sperm enters into the ductus deferens. So let us check out the ductus deferens. So inside to outside, the layers are like mucous membrane, muscle, connective tissue. So mucous membrane is having longitudinal force, and the lumen is having stellate cells. So you can say this is like star shaped cell. So this is the stellate cell, and the muscle is having thick smooth muscles, inner circular, outer longitudinal, again inner longitudinal as we discussed in the proximal part of the duct, and it is having also connective tissue. So lining epithelium is mainly supported by lamina propria, which has more amount of elastic fibers, and the lining epithelium is nothing but the simple columnar, that is pseudo-stratified columnar in the distal part mainly. So it is ciliated in the extra abdominal part of the duct, and terminal dilated part is a ampulla, and it is same as the seminal vesicle. So till now we completed this. Now let us start with our seminal vesicle. Before that, let's observe its structure and understand. So here you can check out, this is the seminal vesicle. So it is mainly made up of convoluted tubule that is cut off several times. So number 1 is a connective tissue around it. This is a smooth muscle. So if you remember, even seminal vesicle also drains into our what also releases its sperms into prostatic urethra along with our vas deferens channel. So that is nothing but seminal vesicle. So you can see the high power seminal vesicle. Note the tubule is lined by the columnar. You can see how prominent we can see the columnar cells over here. So let us check out its details over here. So seminal vesicle is sac-like mass, that is convoluted tubule, outer connective tissue along with the intermediate thin smooth muscle layer and also inner muscular lining, mainly numerous folds along with the branch anastomos to form a network. So the lining epithelium is simple columnar or pseudostratified, and it is also lining epithelium is also containing goblet cells, and the muscle is inner circular and outer longitudinal. So the seminal vesicle is not a storehouse for spermatozoa. So they form a thick secretion that is forming the bulk of the semen, and it also produces it also has fructose, amino acids, proteins, prostaglandins, and also ascorbic and citric acid. So expelled during the ejaculation by the smooth muscle contraction of the vesicle. Now let us check out the prostate. So you can see the histology of prostate, that is it is having first a follicle of the irregular shape. These are the follicles which are seen in the prostate, is of irregular shape. And next you can see the amyloid bodies which are mainly found in adults. These are calcified or proteinaceous bodies. And third you can see the fibromuscular tissue. So these are the fibromuscular tissue, and the prostatic urethra is mainly lined by the transitional epithelium. If you remember, transitional epithelium mainly lines the urinary organs. Even the prostatic urethra is lined by the transitional epithelium. So this is about prostate, and you can see the prostate in a high power, that is first one is a follicle which is lined by the columnar epithelium, and 2-3 are the fibromuscular tissues. Here we can see in a larger image. So prostate details are like 30 to 60 compound tubulo-alveolar glands in a fibromuscular tissue, and the glandular tissue in numerous follicles are present lined by the columnar epithelium with the numerous folds. So these follicles mainly drain into 12 to 20 excretory ducts which are opening in the prostatic urethra. So the ducts are mainly lined by the double layered epithelium, that is the superficial luminal layer is columnar and the deeper layer is cuboidal. So they are having a rounded masses in the lumen, that is known as amyloid bodies or corpora amyloica, which are mainly increased in older individuals, which are condensed glycoproteins and they are often calcified. So have collagen fibers along with the smooth muscles, that is fibromuscular tissue, which is forming the septa separating the glandular elements. So the capsule also contains numerous amounts of veins and parasympathetic ganglion cells. The prostate produces semen, which is mainly rich in enzymes and also citric acid. So they produce the prostaglandins also, and the glandular part is poorly developed with at the birth, and the proliferation at the puberty and degenerate at the old age. So it is transfers mainly by the prostatic urethra and also ejaculatory duct. So the peripheral zone of the site of carcinoma and the central zone. So peripheral zone is main site of carcinoma, and central zone is a benign hypertrophy in the older persons. So it may also compress the urethra and some problems in passing the urine out of the body. So now let us check out the histology of penis. So you can see this is a penis, the number 1 is the skin, and you can see 2, 3, 5 are nothing but the corpora cavernosa. So 2, 3, 5, this structure 2, 3 and 5, these are the corpora cavernosa, and 6, 4, 7, 6 is a median septum. So this is a median septum, and 4 and 7 are corpus spongiosum. If you remember, this cavernosa, spongiosum, corpus basale, functionalis, which are present in a uterus, but here we are having the corpus cavernosa, spongiosum. So spongiosum is here 4 and 7, and also it is having its sheet along with it, and 8th is a common sheet. So this is a common sheet all around, and 10 is a dorsal artery. So here we check out, this is the dorsal artery because this front side, this back side. So that is having a dorsal artery. And you can see also erectile tissue over here. Next part is the erectile tissue form a part of the penis. The first one is a space lined by the endothelium, and second is a connective tissue, and third is the artery with the thick muscular wall. So you can check out the penis. It is root fixed to the perineum and free part body to body corpus and made up of erectile tissue, two dorsal and one ventral. The two dorsal are right corposa cavernosa, right and left corpora cavernosa, and one ventral one is the corpus spongiosum. To all this also having additional sheet which is covering them, that is a common additional sheet. So what is erectile tissue? The septa of the connective tissue also extend into the cavernosa and spongiosum, forming a network. It is mainly lined by the endothelium. So if you check out here, it is mainly lined by endothelium as we discussed. So this is supplied by the helicrine arteries and they are connected to the veins by the arteriovenous anastomosis. So the circular muscles are present in the media which are very thick, and the tunica intima mainly contains longitudinal thickness, and they are having many sensory nerve endings in the penis, especially on the glands. So this is all about histology of male reproductive system.